Hi and welcome to today's video by Study Unifees. In today's video, we will be starting a series. This series is all about how to navigate the US student visa interview. As you know, you are required to participate in a face-to-face interview once you apply for your visa to study in the United States. In this series, we'll be talking about some of the most important questions and most common questions that arise in the visa interview with a visa officer. Today's question is, why did you choose the USA? This is usually one of the first questions that visa officers ask applicants. This question is a great chance to demonstrate to the visa officer that you have made an informed choice with the USA as your study destination. It is a chance to convince the visa officer that you are a genuine student who has chosen the USA for genuine reasons. First, let's look at all the general statements that students make in answering this question. In short, these are the things that you must not say if asked why you chose the USA in the visa interview. A lot of students say it's the best educational system in the world. This is really a general statement. It is just not backed up by any kind of evidence. A lot of students also say that the USA has very practical education, not theoretical, unlike their home countries. This too is really general and basically demonstrates that you have not done any research about the pedagogical practices and teaching methodologies in the US. The problem with these statements is, if you ask further questions, like who says that the US has the best higher education in the world? Or how exactly is an American education practical? Then you will not have any further answers. Something else that a lot of students sadly and unfortunately say when asked why they chose the US is that it's the biggest economy in this world. This is completely unrelated to your choice of the US and your future studies. Another thing that a lot of visa applicants say is that your career will be impacted positively by studying in the US. How exactly, or how will an American education impact in comparison to other countries is something again that you will not be able to talk about in depth. Finally, a lot of students say that it has some of the best universities in the world. The usual names: Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Cornell, UCLA, etc. Well, the thing is, you're probably not going to Harvard or even Yale or Cornell. Therefore, this answer too just does not make any sense. So, don't make these general statements. Don't just say it's got the best educational system unless you have some evidence to back this up. Don't say it's a practical education that is available in the US unless you know in depth about teaching methodology and pedagogy. Don't say it's the biggest economy in the world because that is completely unrelated to your plans to study. Don't just say your career will have a great impact without any further substantiating evidence. And finally, do not name universities, especially top schools, that you are not going to. So now, what should you say? Well, here is number one. What points to the fact that the higher education system in the US is truly the best in the world? Well, first, it's ranked number one for its higher education among all countries in the world by QS and Universitas 21. Both QS and Universitas 21 are highly reputed rankers. The fact that they have ranked America's higher education as the best educational system in the world is something that speaks volumes. This also demonstrates that you have done a lot of research on the educational system's quality as a whole and how it compares to the educational system of other countries. Next, whether you're an undergrad or grad student, but especially if you are a STEM student, that is, a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics student, you can say that the US has the second highest number of active patents in the world after China. China has recently overtaken the US in terms of patents. Historically, US has been the world leader in innovation and patents. Next, you can also say that the US has the strongest IT sector in the world, or the strongest business sector in the world, or the strongest manufacturing or medical sector in the world. But you must package this properly. This must be packaged in this way. You can say that the US has the best IT sector in the world because IT education in the US is so strong and it makes sense to study IT there as compared to anywhere else. Exposure is a magic word as far as international, domestic, and transnational education are concerned. But the kind of exposure you will get in the USA, not just inside the classroom, but almost everywhere, just cannot compare to exposure that you will get in other countries or your home country. The exposure you'll get in the US is far superior to that you will get in any other country. So this too could be a great reason for choosing the US for your future studies. Now, let's talk about undergrads. The liberal arts score for an undergrad is a great reason to choose to study in the US. This is because all American universities require undergraduates, no matter what their major, to study a liberal arts score. This is a collection of courses built into your program that are basically geared towards making you a well-rounded student. Universities in other countries, like the UK, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, or even your home country, do not commonly have a liberal arts score. So, this is a great reason for an undergrad to choose the US because they will be getting a well-rounded education by way of a liberal arts score. Mentioning the liberal arts score in your answer as to why you have chosen the USA as an undergrad demonstrate that you have done a lot of research into undergrad education in the United States. Overall, the main reason you have chosen the USA, whether you realize it or not, is that it's the best investment for your future. However, when you mention the term investment, make sure that you include a lot of supporting ideas. Supporting ideas like the range of knowledge and skills you will gain with an American education. Supporting ideas like the exposure that you will get. Supporting ideas like the entry level and the long-term prospects in your career. So, investment is the most important reason for your choice of the USA as a potential study destination. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more common questions in the US visa interview. To access further questions about the US visa interview and how to answer them, like, share and subscribe. For personalized counseling on your plans to study in the USA, register at www.studyunifees.io for a free counseling appointment.